left, they love their marginalized groups. And so they can have somebody that fits the description of somebody from any one of these marginalized groups, select that person, prop him or her up as a leader for all, and if you're not on board, you're a bigot.
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast, and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts, and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring, and George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil. Chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
What's good, my people? You're watching the MC Too Tall Show with your hardcore, fierce, and sexy host, master of sound quality, MC Too Tall. And we're going to talk about your heroes. We don't need another hero. We don't need another liberal puppet. Yes, your heroes, your Democrat puppets, and your slime ball pundits. And we could get into a whole list of these people. These people that are said to be great men and women and great leaders. And there's just a whole plethora of identity politics that comes with the package. And what I'm referring to is how they put a spin on things, how they push an agenda with a specific narrative. And if you don't agree with the agenda and you spew out the facts that go against the narrative, all of a sudden you're one kind of bigot or another. Okay? Now, the left loves to create these marginalized groups. If you're black, you're marginalized. If you're a woman, especially if you're a single mother, you're marginalized. If you're a black single mother, you're marginalized. If you're a Muslim, you're marginalized. If you're a man that takes testosterone blockers and bombards himself with estrogen and calls yourself a woman, then you are marginalized. And so the left, they love their marginalized groups. And so they can have somebody that fits the description of somebody from any one of these marginalized groups, select that person, prop him or her up as a leader for all, and if you're not on board, you're a bigot, and you're whatever boxed name for each version of bigotry that applies to whoever doesn't agree with what that particular person is saying or doing. So, if I sit here and tell you that Barack Obama promised hope and change and failed in every way, every angle, every measure, like digging in a schoolyard for a buried treasure, then of course the narrative would dictate that I'm some sort of racist. But meanwhile, the majority of the people who are saying this about Barack Obama are black. I'm merely echoing what I've heard other black people say about Barack Obama. There are black people outraged at Brandon Johnson's failure to run the city as mayor of Chicago. There are people being shot on a daily basis. As often as you go out for a loaf of bread, someone is getting shot and killed in Chicago. And it's because of the Democrats. Not because Brandon Johnson is black, but because he's following a Democrat agenda, an Illuminati agenda, to create chaos for the pending New World Order that the left wants to bring in, that the Illuminati wants to bring in via either the left or a bunch of neocons like a Nikki Haley or a John Bolton. And so, here we are, folks. There are people that are more pissed off that the person that shot up that school in Minneapolis is being misgendered than the fact that bro shot up the school. This is really happening. You know? I mean, there was a girl screaming after the Nashville shooting that they didn't say the shooter's name was Aiden Hale. And I forgot what the girl's name was, who identified as a guy that shot up that school in Nashville. But you have somebody identifying as trans, committing violence, killing children in a Christian facility, just as the other day what happened in Minneapolis. And they failed to realize, or they failed to point out, that if you take a kid who's already sick in the head, drug them up, encourage bad behavior, and know that this person is a sicko, made even more sick through the drugs and encouragement by adults, they turn around and arm that person when they obviously didn't have the mental capabilities of being armed without being dangerous. This is what you have. You created a monster when you do this. But if you point this out, somebody will try to sidetrack you and cry and make an emotion-filled reaction. Oh, you're just saying that because she is trans. Because she identified as a sexy woman. And you don't like sexy women that at some point in their life used to be men. Do you without running into a Catholic school with a gun shooting the children? Do you? Other than that, just do you. Then you have people like Joy Reid, race-baiting Joy Reid, race-baiting Al Sharpton, race-baiting Don Lemon, who holds two victim cards, because he's got the black card and he's got the gay man card. So if he says the most asinine thing in the world and you point it out as asinine, you are both a racist and a homophobe, because you're calling out bullshit, and that bullshit happened to have been said by a gay black man named Don Lemon. And I think he's just real sour that he lost his CNN job due to his misogynistic comments about Nikki Haley. Oh my goodness. He had a bunch of misogynistic comments to say about Nikki Haley. He got booted off, and his ratings sucked, which is why he didn't have his own show anymore at that point. Then Elon Musk gives him a deal on X, and he shoots himself in the foot by having Elon Musk as his first guest and tries to ask him all these challenging questions. And it's like, the man's cutting you a check. You don't talk shit about the man that's cutting you a check. You just don't. Work for somebody else so you could talk shit about them. Yeah? It's just logical. It's just logical. But Don Lemon's not logical. Or am I a racist homophobe for saying Don Lemon is not logical? I don't know how this man gets airtime. This man gets no credibility from me. I don't lend him any credibility. His credibility's shot, and so is Joy Reid's. But Joy Reid keeps emerging, and you see the bitter racist that she is. And you want to pin these people up with chips on their shoulders as strong women, strong queens. A queen doesn't have a chip on her shoulder, bro. She just doesn't. And so this is where we are at. People like this. These are your heroes and heroines. People that just spit out all kinds of rhetoric that keep the division going. That keep the division going. And yes, I will point out these so-called leaders and these so-called news people that try to give you the bullshit that keeps the country divided. That they have either no answer or all the wrong answers, and I will continue to call them out. And if they're women, so be it. If they're self-proclaimed women, so be it. If they're actual women, so be it. If they're black, so be it. If they're Arabic, so be it. If they're white liberals, so be it. Because my beef is not with any racial or sex or sexuality based demographic. It's with people that the left dropped into all these different categories that are pushing out the liberal narrative and the liberal agenda. The, these people are slime bags. They're all about division. Al Sharpton, king of the race hustlers. King of the race hustlers. You could hold up anything in front of Al Sharpton and he will find racism in it. Let's pick up a torchlighter and hold this up. That's orange, like the tone of Donald Trump's skin. You are a racist because you are promoting Orange Man bad. Why do you have a brown phone case? Why can't you have a white phone case? You want brown people to serve you. That is your symbolism, that you want brown people to be your servants and your slaves. Al Sharpton is that kind of a race hustler. He's not stupid. He just thinks you're stupid. I do believe AOC is well educated, but stupid. And I do call on people of the right not to play into the racism and dish the racism back at them. Like, I don't believe that black people are the problem because they're black. If I lived right next door to Brandon Tatum, I'd be okay with that. If I lived across the street from Larry Elder, I would be okay with that. If I lived down the street from Andrew Tate, who is biracial, I'd be okay with that. Mel, I'd even be okay if I lived across the street from The Rock, who is biracial and gave campaign support to Joe Biden. But the race hustlers and the people that think they're entitled to incorrect behavior, those are the ones I have a problem with. And the people who encourage it. So as far as saying this group of people is a problem, this group of people is a problem, no, puppets of the Illuminati are the problem. People pushing the leftist agenda are the problem. And they come in all different shapes, sizes, and colors. Look, there's a big round white one cosplaying as the governor of Illinois. His name is J.B. Pritzker, who's apparently eating too much Pringles. You know, you have a wrinkly old white one in California by the name of Nancy Pelosi. You have a spirit-cooking witch named Hillary Clinton that just won't go away. Being First Lady wasn't enough. Being a Senator of New York wasn't enough. Being Secretary of State wasn't enough. Almost becoming President of the United States wasn't enough. She has to write a book about her failures and call it What Happened. I understand she's put out another book or two since. She keeps going on TV, spewing the same old tired rhetoric that is the opposite of what we see with our eyes and hear with our ears in real time. But these are your heroes. But I'm misogynistic because I'm saying bad things about a woman. Well, what about the normal ones? What about the normal ones that care about this country, like Kerry Lake? What about the normal ones who care about this country, like Lauren Boebert, like Marjorie Taylor Greene? Yes, I believe she is a patriot who cares about this country. And yes, she may say some things that are off the chain, but you know what? Go full throttle, Marjorie. Go full throttle. Because it's simply a less watered down version of the absolute truth that comes from Marjorie Taylor Greene, and they don't like the way she shoots from the hip. You know, people dedicated to their constituents, like Nicole Maliotakis and Elise Stefanik, these are women. I don't have bad things to say about these women. Even when you call out a Republican like neocon Nikki Haley, the left will jump in and say, "You're just picking on her because she's a woman." And if I call out the Minneapolis shooter, that long-haired, scruffy-faced bro that preyed upon children and then turned the gun on himself, I'm being transphobic, supposedly, and supposedly against trans rights. And a lot of people from the LGBT group are against pushing this narrative on the children, increasingly telling them that they must transition, they must transition. That's the equivalent of telling children of the same age that they telling these children this other thing at, you'd better go to bed, get under those covers before the boogeyman comes out of the closet and eats you. Or if you don't put this tooth under your pillow, the tooth fairy's not going to come and give you your $2. Talk about a ripoff. I think with the price of inflation and marketing, the kid should get a $20 bill. But anyway, let's see. It's the same thing, though. It is the same thing. If you don't transition, your brain's going to explode and you're going to want to die. If you don't transition, your brain's going to explode and you're going to want to die. And you tell little kids this at a young age. You lean over to a 5-year-old little Billy as his kindergarten teacher, say, maybe you're meant to be a girl. That poor kid's going to get confused and think he's supposed to be a girl. And when you don't do the things that are actually doing more harm to him than good, like the testosterone blockers, the puberty blockers, the bombardment with estrogen, possibly even bottom surgery, then this person is going to go nuts. Well, I can't transition like I'm supposed to. Let me get this gun because lawmakers, based on their God, decided against me becoming who I truly am supposed to be. Because me being a boy that's supposed to be a girl is real, but their God is not. So let me go and shoot up this school because they're indoctrinating these poor innocent children to believe there's a God. not once thinking that maybe they were indoctrinated into believing they were supposed to be of a sex other than what they look down there and see that they are. And there's going to be people that are going to get mad at me. I'm going to make enemies from this. I know this. I'm going to make some severe enemies from this. But let me tell you this. I'm not suicidal, and it's not an... And if I disappear from your eyes for whatever reason, it will have nothing to do with any type of internet beef. It will be because the Illuminati finally touched me. I mean, they did it to William Cooper. William Cooper is a hero, yet there are people that are still glad that he's dead. Some even wish it was themselves that shot him in the head. These same people root for the ones who make toys with lead paint, Chinese Communist Party, and want to eat the guts of hip-hop's patron saint. And they hope somebody approves of this task till I come along, punch their dreams right through their mask, and send them back to their rooms like non-essential buffoons, because I'd rather be dead than hunkered down in mid-June. And here's where the problem lies. You gotta preserve a way of life that's worked for you throughout your whole life. Morals and ethics are not some newfangled thing. The right-leaning or conservative perspective of what those morals and ethics should be, none of that is newfangled. It wasn't just pulled out of a hat when Trump emerged as a presidential candidate back in 2015 and went down the escalator there with his wife. But it is a way of life that works for a lot of people, even the people who aren't conservative. Can't seem to grasp that a certain way of life works for everyone in America. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, without trying to misguide someone else what that pursuit of happiness should be. And that's the problem with the media. They try to misguide you. The education system, too. The education system might even be more guilty of this. They try to misguide you on what your pursuit of happiness should be. What should you pursue to be happy? Look within. Look within, my friends. Look within. Respect God and look up to God for guidance. Hell, I know what my purpose is. My God-given purpose is to convey a message. And that message is to watch out for the Illuminati. Because the Illuminati, the socialists of the world, the liberals of the world, they're all working for the devil, whether they know it or not. The people, the high-ranking people of these secret societies know that they're working for the devil. They know damn well they're working for the devil. They even address him as Lucifer. They are Luciferian. They worship Lucifer, and they will not hide that from each other. They'll hide it from you, but they won't hide it from each other. To you, they're that nice man that contributes to the church. They're that bunch of Hasidic men that gather in front of the synagogue. They're those nice grandmothers that gather around knitting quilts, but have nothing nice to say about right-leaning principles. The right is the righteous. The left are oppressive. Democrats are demons. And my message is aggressive. And this is who we have to watch out for. These Illuminati puppets. And that's my message of the day. I conclude this episode of the MC Too Tall Show. Respect God. Watch out for the Illuminati. Like, follow, share, comment, subscribe. Stay strong, keep kicking ass slang. It's your boy in the building. Hip-hop legend, recording engineer, underground rock and roll hero, MC Too Tall. And you be good now.